The filter-free diary. Uh,
Good morning. It's 10:24, and what you're seeing behind me is the Alps, obviously, in Switzerland, but it's warm air and cold ground, and that's what's making that fog so that you can't actually see too far. And it's interesting that it's warm wind because where's that warm wind coming from? Like, all the wind coming off those mountains is really cold. Speaking from experience. So I'm not exactly sure where this warm wind is coming from, but as you can see, there's no snow on this mountain. And I was talking to the owners, and there used to be snow on this mountain, like much longer than there is now. And they said, oh, it's because of climate change. And I'm like, whoa. If it's affecting the Swiss Alps, then fuck yes, it's affecting Antarctica and the Arctic. But this is not about climate change. This is about, where are you going to call that? The map of the planet. The map of the planet. Okay. So I'm going to start off a little mathy because Spirit actually does want to talk about the fourth dimension, but it's not going to be probably what you expect. Or if you're math talented, it might be exactly what you expect, depending on how logical your math is. So anyways, talk about the fourth dimension. And actually, they did this in Stargate. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, but in the very first Stargate, not the series, right, like the movie, they did exactly what I'm about to do. But the thing is, they didn't frame it like time. They framed it like distance, and it's not exactly distance, but but we'll get there. So let's talk about the continents. And I don't have my tablet because it's downstairs because I didn't go get it. So hopefully this doesn't get too weird without enough visuals. Hopefully I get visuals. Okay, so let's talk about the continents. You got North America and South America. You got Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, and Antarctica. And there's actually a reflection happening in those continents. I don't know if you can see it. I think it's most obvious in the North America and South America. But but looking at those continents, do you see how 6 of them are A's and only 1 of them is an E? Yeah, Europe is special. Europe is mad special. So, yeah, right, because it's got France. So what's happening in the continents, and the number 7, as the planet keeps track of how many times it has to do this, is I guess I should just show you the reflection in case you don't already see it. So North America and South America reflect each other, right? They're the Americas. You got 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom. That's easy, right? But then you got 2 islands. It doesn't really look like an island because Africa's so fucking huge, but that's kind of like an island, kind of. There are lots of places where that is not connected. So Africa and Australia are kind of doing the same thing. Big old chunks of land hanging out mostly in the water. You know, their complete own continent. Those are reflecting each other. And then, of course, you got Asia and Antarctica. Big, giant land masses. And those are reflecting each other. And if you take those 3 sets of reflections and plot them together, like on a chart, You're going to get your x-axis, your y-axis, and your z-axis, right? You get your length, your width, your height. You get a cube, like a human. You get a fucking cube. And then what about Europe? What about that one continent? That's not even an A. That's an E. And everybody else is an A. What do you do with that? Well, what you do with that is you make a destination, right? So you started at this cube right here, and that cube, that 6, is trying to become 7. Yes, of course it is, because it's the map of the Earth right now. And you know what? When the Earth decides to do 8, it'll come up with something even cooler, and the humans will reimagine it in another cool pattern. Yes, because that's what we do as creativity forces. But back to the point. So Europe is the destination, right? We all start with all our 6 ones being, human, being length, width, height. Here we are. We are the form. We are the thing, gonna do the thing. But we can't do the thing unless we're moved through time. And that's really what Europe is. It's distance, but it's not always physical distance. Sometimes it's time distance, right? Going through the film strip. And that's really what the Earth map is, at least this time around. Hope you found that interesting. Have a good morning.